Hello people, it's me, Libluini. I am back again with another episode of Gem and the Holograms Adventures in TNN Land. This is my let's play of Dominion Strike. 3. Oops. Messages for this turn is we got Alteration 5. And now we'll start on those juicy little conjuration spells we want. I guess we can move on. We want to get to Dramaturgy 7 or 8, if I remember correctly. Yep, 7. Then we lost another crippled unit, and then we beat up a bunch of Tritons. Ah yes, underwater. Our Kappas can now fight better than ever. No penalties, no extra encumbrance due to land fighting. And those poor planet Triton Bewohner, those pure denizens of planet Triton, are dead before I even finish my joke. Okay. Yeah, that's the problem. Basic stats, nothing special, and a knife with length 0. Or they have to swim into the arms of the waiting Kappa Kung Fu masters. Not exactly a good end for them. 0 losses, oh that must have been bitter. Next there was another battle in the Dead Forest, because of course the very moment I moved some troops away, that one army up in Grove moved down here. Then we are, of course, conquering Grove with our secondary army, and we just plowed right through those poor walking fish bastards. Then in Auremark we got Dominions +3 thanks to a festival in the honor of Gem and the Hologram. I'm guessing it's a music festival. And then 2 mounts without riders made it back. But when one unit or mount has died. That's wonderfully informative, my friend game. So, since I had not much time, I already logged into the game and did some minor things before I marked the turn as unfinished for later, so I could make my recordings. I'm still moving troops around, as you can see. Mostly to concentrate underwater units here. And I'm already moving them back on land, since I can't really move them into the giants. That would just be a waste of life. My main army had just reached Melma, and my secondary army and my main army will now move together to make sure that even if there is some kind of reserve force showing up, that's it then. Well, to be honest, my plan was to ask Calum about that giant stack of units and commanders I've seen moving around, but it seems it's gone now. The Southern Forest is of course annoying as fuck, because apparently, because the Sea of Mermaids directly in front of it has no connection with the province, it doesn't count as a neighbor, and because we aren't in that forest we can't see where Callum's units have gone. Have they moved off? They obviously didn't attack Muspelheim. So where are they? Did they move off entirely? Good point. I've tried to talk to that guy, but since we are living in different time zones, it's been extremely slow, with basically one answer from each side, with 7 to 10 hours of time difference in between. I hope that I can get him tonight, but it's already midnight now, and I don't know if I will be awake. Like the last 2 times I've attempted to have lasting conversations with people, It seems time zones have again defeated me. Ah yes, not being able to talk with people because I'm asleep or they are asleep. That's one of the curses of living on a different continent from most of our players. I wonder if there are many German players around. I have absolutely no contact with my fellow German players since I've fallen in with something awful in American Forum. There are Germans on it, but I have no idea how many of us are actually playing Dominion 6. That's a lot of coincidences that have to pile up for that to work. So anyway, we now have a fancy new magic helmet. Well, it's technically a crown. I think it can still hit protect from critical hits, but it has no innate protection. At least this thing doesn't have. If something has true sight or spirit sight, I think it still makes blur not work. And then it's only stealth, which doesn't work in battle. And it's then just a common magic booster, which is also good. We have now to decide what we do with the first booster. Our armies are far away from any post where I can put them on. And while I could give it to one of our... Well, option 1, give it to one of our possible stealth assassins for more magic power. Give it to one of our She-Lords so I don't have to gamble with Reese anymore. Because a She-Lord with level 3 in Glamour is far more useful than a Re, since a Re costs more money and takes more turns to recruit, and then this additionally moral crap slowly turns into real crap. We are still recruiting our fancy independent forces here. Recruitment points are low. But in the future we have a couple of partials, which is nice. Wait a moment. 52? Yeah, it's sometimes funny how the game works, so the automatic recruitment didn't count the waiting horses, but now that I have a reset flying horse recruitment, that suddenly worked, and now we get 2 horses instead of 1 for this turn. And next turn we'll have 9. Oh, it's still not enough, but I don't have a pressing need for recruitments right now. And now we have a She-Lord down there. We have, of course, take into account one of the reasons why I wanted a Re is because they can have 4 squads instead of 3. My She-Lord is already a 2 out of 3. My She-Champion equally almost full. And this means, well, the horses are 1 squad and the Amazons are 1 squad, so that would already fill up my 2 army commanders to the brim. Luckily it still works. Both these guys give +1 to moral, which is not like +2 to, but I'm not complaining. I think we're continuing. Yes, we keep going. Another She-Lord, and oops, yes, of course the She-Lords are holy, so we have to put one of our 2 other warriors back into the pile of toys. I'm just contemplating how many war mages I need. Money is already running low again. My elves are expensive. Expensive people. Scouts are a lot right now. Here we're still recruiting mages. But wait. That should be... Let's go here and then we'll go to our banshees. It's of course a little bit money, that's not enough. But you know what? We can... Yes, we don't need any leaders anymore here. And maybe let's remove Kappa recruitment a bit. Don't need that many. And I already have one leader too many here. In the range. So while that's going on, now Quadra is safely away from the front lines, so I can put on a slot for another research mage. Whoops! Oh, I keep forgetting there is a shortcut for switching between fortresses. I'm a rather visual guy and I can't remember names for shit. So I prefer to look on the map to where the fuck I'm actually recruiting stuff. So let's recruit some more troops for our local commanders. Because it would be kind of silly, now that I think about it, if there are 0 troops here but a growing pile of expensive mages to kill. And Riley is directly next to our cap, so let's not keep all of our research mages in one spot. I'm also asking around on Discord to see if someone is trading glamour gems, since we have a growing stockpile of, well, everything, but can't really use everything. There is this funny thing that we can now actually, let me check, with alteration 5 and filtering for nature. Yep, we can actually get Mother Oak right now if we wanted to. You need level 5 in nature, so. And we have Shadow Warriors, something I have to remember to actually script in. Right now we want to squish everything with large armies of illusion soldiers. That's the evocation 5 spell. What was again in the enchantment tree that I wanted to go up there? Oh yes, of course. I wanted to get to what was it? I keep forgetting. Simulacrum is useful, yes, that's level 4, so that is also useful. I have Fey 8 warriors, that was it, yes. So after getting to Thaumaturgy 7, we'll snatch that spell with enchantment 6, and then we are getting closer to the really large goals, like more construction or more conjuration for even more insane stuff. Right now we have a trouble because even our pretender goddess herself is more like a walking pile of holograms, quite apt. And so she is really strong in glamour magic, but, well, even with a Fistal Mace booster we can forge right now, she would only be going to 4. If we can get a 3 staff, then I could... that's a good question. A 3 staff is far more expensive from what I remember, it needs more magic. But maybe we can be lucky and give here a Fistal Mace to then make the larger version that gives +2 in nature magic, and then we could have plant an oak tree. Right now there are no globals active. Ah yes, which of course doesn't really tell us anything, since we can only see our own graph, except for ascension points, which is seen by everyone. Riley and Abizia seem to be fighting, or it's just coincidence really. But we can see, for example, Riley was on a fairly easy trajectory to victory, but then suddenly lost a throne. There's lots of fighting going on. Muspelheim and Arco had just a major battle, and Arco is losing. So I'm guessing we should fight Muspelheim. It's just annoying because Vanheim is close, and Riley close enough to all those thrones. So whoever fights Muspelheim is probably still going to lose, because Muspelheim isn't around far too many thrones, except in this area, of course. Could be Muspelheim is trying to get there anyway. And Muspelheim is now slowly making inroads to Arco. And I'm guessing if they are losing too badly, I can go and help out Mekone to expand my own borders a bit before Muspelheim gets too large for my taste. We do have some options, like if no idea how much defense there is, it's too far away from our scouts. It's planning for the future. Right now I'm trying to reshuffle my troops so that we don't get we can throw an opportunistic raiding force down here, and I really would be sure if... Oh, okay, that's funny. In the very moment I'm talking about it, I get an answer from the player of Calum. And yeah, he was just opportunistic. He wasn't trying to attack me. So retaking that forest should be safe now, since it was a bit unexpected for those weirdos to again trying to be as annoying as possible. And next I'll leave the larger army there and use the smaller army to see if it's large enough to crack defenses, because if I can break through at Mekone country, then Mekone is fucked. AI or not AI, they can't recruit anything big anymore if I squat myself on the capital and their last fortress. And after that it's mob up time. I'll then just try to keep Mekone from making stupid counterattacks, because otherwise I will need this new force and have to march it down here. Well, I will have to anyway. That's the problem with playing offensively. You actually have to use your armies instead of just having them raid around. And it's getting close. 9, 10, 11. I think in 2 turns or something it's time for my new army to form up and march southwards, and I really hope at that point that the war will be mostly done. And I really hope I can get to Lomark, because I would really have more than one place with a lab and a castle on it to summon stupid shit into. So we're already done, I think. The armies are still scripted and should deal with some stupid giants. And then I'll try to ask Calum if they want to trade some games. As Calum, they probably have a need of air and water, and I have a need of glamour, but I have no idea how many Calum could have in theory. I guess in an emergency I can also take on some astral pearls, since alchemizing astral pearls, it may be expensive, but it's less expensive than starting with normal gems. The way it's normally going is you take 2 gems, alchemizing them in a pearl, and then you take 2 pearls and alchemize them back into whatever you want. This of course means that those 40 fire gems, for example, would only make 10 glamour gems. So even if I can only get astral pearls, I would already get 20 by melting down 40 of the pearls. Optimally, of course, would be a 1-to-1 Tausch trade. I keep slipping my language. Ugh, my brain is so fucking stupid sometimes. Anyway, that would be a best, because then, well, we could probably use water in little amounts to get priests down into the water, so we can put little stealth templates underwater to make our belief system stronger. But apart from that, we don't really need that much. And yeah, that's, well, 15 air to leave a little rest, plus 10 water. That could already net us 25 glamour gems for a trade. Of course, we could also use up some of our nature gems, but since so many of our mages have nature, it's probably too best to not just throw it all away. Of course, we also have other stuff we don't need, like death, earth. So we do have some earth stuff we can, people with earth paths that could use them. We could even make a level 2 earth mage right now, like empowerment. And after spending 30 gems for this, she then could use 10 more gems to forge a pair of nice boots. Earth boots are they called. And those earth boots gives another point of earth magic, and then we have 3. It's a bit too early for playing around, I think. It's of course always good to have some sort of balance. It takes multiple turns to do this shit of empowering, forging and equipping. But on the other hand, it's also, well, 40 gems total. So it's not exactly a low cost. And of course, if I find someone with naturally 2 paths in earth, that would be even better. But, what's about... Oh yeah, that's these guys. These unfucking believable guys. They have a combo of mostly air with something else combined. If there is something that needs air and earth for some reason, well, that's another option. Of course, with 4 different paths, our banshees would be better to make into forge stuff. Well, we really don't have that many options for earth. We get earth always as some kind of option thrown in with our other shit. Yeah, everyone can get a little bit of earth, but what exactly can we summon with a combo of earth and glamour? Well, yeah, trolls, of course. If we get up to 3, which is easy enough. We could even get some giants if we absolutely want to. Everything else is probably too expensive to get to. Yeah, we don't have that high of an earth income. What is glamour combining to? Well, of course, we have stuff like cave kobolds and blue caps. Yeah, that's true. We don't actually have the combo of blue cap summoning, and I think it's one of those things. Earth and glamour magic. So in essence, we could get a blue cap to summon more blue caps, but 20 gems, it's a bit of a hefty price. And summon gnome. That's interesting. I'm guessing they don't mean the gnome you can get from random events, which is just some kind of garden gnome with 0 magic. Magic of the land as well as glamour magic. I think I translate this into earth and glamour like the blue caps. What could be useful. Of course, it's a bit funny since you already need the glamour and earth combo to even get to them. Well, it looks like it would be useful to have. Not so much for the other parts of the tech tree here. Lots of other paths where there is a combination, but not so much outside of conjuration. Conjuration seems the big combo of earth and glamour to be. And we're probably wanting those blue caps and gnomes because I'm guessing they have more than just level 1 in earth. I hope. I could of course look this up. Would probably be smarter before throwing all those gems away. But this also means, funnily enough, it would probably make more sense to take Marine here and make her the better one in earth magic. And this of course means I'll now feel obligated to do so and make here a level 2 Earth Mage, because then I can make a nice pair of shoes and make a level 3 Earth Mage. And that's already overkill if we want to get stuff like gnomes. And since our other important mages are all on the way, what to do at... Oh, of course. You get a crown because I'm not recruiting Reese anymore, but it would be nice if there is at least one reliable level 3 mage to cast Twilight with. Is he now strong enough to make it? Yes, that's good. So he can make a booster for Gem herself, because what is better than level 6 Glamour? Level 7 in Glamour. And then I probably have to think about upgrading her other powers a little bit for the future. Can I? Greater magic items. Manual of water breathing. That's of course funny. 150 size points. I think this translates to only 50 human-sized things. And yeah, of course it doesn't work. It works now a little bit different than in Dominions 5, where everything was counted like they were size 1 and then just halved or some shit. I always got confused. But this should basically mean if up to 15 giant level 10 size 10 monsters and so on, I hope. But right now we need something else. The water lance is an item that makes your water spells go further, and in battle it gives you a water gem, 1 per battle. The Dreamstone gives more research, but lessens your magic resistance. Cannot be used by non-sleepers. That's an odd. Can only be used by glamour mages. Anyone wielding this stone for a few days will suddenly start to dream every night and remember them clearly afterwards. A glamour mage can use this to steer the dreams into conjuring useful magic research ideas. Then he can write down the dreams in the morning and thus speed up his research greatly. The drawback is that opening of the mage's senses to the dreams, to let the dreams in, will also make him more vulnerable to hostile magic effects. Oh, now I understand. I got confused because there is a commander you can summon that's literally called the Sleeper Awakens. But no, what this means is that if there is a unit that or commander that cannot possibly sleep, then because I can't use this item. And only glamour mages, which we have tons of. So it's a nice research upgrade, because the other thing, the lantern, which needs fire and level path fire, is of course something that's even higher on the tree. And I think the only other good item is a dev item, research item I mean, to be clear. And it's only 5 and level 1. That's of course funny, because this means we can take one of our not so good, well, of course they are all good researchers, they just have sometimes an odd placement in paths. Do we have someone here glamoring around? No. Let me look. The She Champion, Fearball Champion, She Champion. Those are fairly cheap for mages. Well then, a compromise. I don't want to use even more of my research mages to forge. So let's switch things around and give them the She Champion, because these guys have not so good research and 1 level in glamour, so I can use those clowns to make gems. And I'll keep making them to fill up my little research mage stack here, including this event cloud mage. I'll just give all of them. And then I'll make weiter and give those to them too. And okay, one thing I have to do. Yeah, they are not that good in research either. 10 is worse than 13. So now you're... Oh, wait. You are new. Of course, this is the best. At the end of the rainbow and monthly, cost is a bit costly over time, but since it's now automatically going, we spare our mages from walking around on foot, since there are lots of provinces where either Nolan has searched for magic sites yet, or McConnell, and I have an idea that it's probably stuff like fire sites. And either he didn't have any time to search, didn't search, or hasn't found anything yet. And since we are glamoring around for glamour sites, we'll probably have more luck. Anyway, then this is the revised plan. A she champion now, next turn research mages in Quadra, and then my she champion will start forging those glamour gems. And then maybe another couple of glamour boosters, because it's always nice to have a backup. And Miriam is here to summon stuff, even if, now that I think of it, I probably then have to move her down. Right now it's not so troublesome because almost everything down here needs level 4. Only the Wild Hunt, and the Wild Hunt is a global spell. Law of Legends is caster gains plus on in all his magic paths for 1 month. Oh, very useful. Yeah, always manage to not find a way to use spells like that. I'm more of the long-term player, making stupid plans and then trying to execute them. But that's the magic side of things. Let's try to go around to our normal commanders. Ah yes, of course, I completely forgot to move this one, our underwater spy. I wish, but it's just a scout. Spies are something different. Huh. So, my friend, move further. I want to see what Riley is doing up here. You have to stay so I can see what's going on here. Then you can move down now because I want to see what's up. Yeah. You are a spy too. I completely forgot why I put you here. I guess you can move in. Huh. Well, we need more spies in this scouts. I keep saying spies. In this direction. Yeah, you just have to stay here, stay here. Muspelheim, yes. Well, I'm curious to see if we can find anything here. Ah yes, that's the guy I gave his swimming boots to, fish scale boots to swim across rivers. Of course, now he is stalking through a large amount of provinces where there is not a single river in sight. Would have probably been smarter to keep in here in the river country and send someone else there, but then I remember I sent him across our strait in the north. Here the sea strait that counts as a river by Dominion's logic. Yeah, and now I have already all my non-moving units and commanders through. What's with my kappas here? Toshikatsu. Toshikatsu can move alone and along. I have no idea where to put those guys. I have to seek out a new water province before I can use them to full extent, I guess. That's after all. Well, Lake Seaweed. Too bad Muspelheim is in the way. Then there is another Boat Eater. Yeah, there's still some lakes unclaimed, but now Kalum is in the way and Muspelheim is in the way. And of course, that's probably part of Riley's territory. There's the Devil's Pond. Well, let's see. We're probably sending them into here. Yeah. We'll send them into our overwater province and upgrade the local... Oh, at some point some event must have fired because the defense is definitely not set to 20 by myself. It's a bit extensive for down here. Everything else is at 10. Except here, because I didn't want someone to slink through undetected. And I'm guessing Riley's underwater spies won't be the most stealthy of fishies. Other shit to think of? Yeah. So if Arco actually collapses in the near future, I'll probably send my little army of Kappas across the water, and when I'm getting opportunistic and manage to get to Trackless Woods or the Grey Murks, then I can throw my Kappas into the Devil's Pond and add yet another water province to us. It would be nice if there were more scouts around though. And since I have a slot and some money left over, scout, my friend. Scout. Some reserve units here. I think the next scout will also go eastwards, so we can keep a look on Arco. So, and now I'm done. Yeah, there's now nothing to do here. I don't know, keep trying to talk to Kalum, maybe trade something. And then we'll try to finally finish off that forest and move eastwards to snatch up the rest of Mekona and then probably Arco, the way things are going. Since walking into Muspelheim is a bit risky, we would have need of at least one alley. So if I can convince Kalum to help me out, maybe we help Arco out, then it's 3-on-1 player. But if Arco dies too fast, then of course the grisly logic of war means then first I and then probably Kalum too will try to snatch as many provinces as we can without immediately stepping into active war with Muspelheim. After all, Muspelheim is really dangerous. In that large battle they had a big chunk of 38 of their sacred fire giants, and they just deleted hundreds of units by walking into them. It was amazing. They even posted a battle report. If there's some interest, I try to remember to get him from our Discord and show it off. Well, let's just say it's one of those little messages that tell you, if you come from Muspelheim, you better be real. Even fighting more invisible elves of our own would be better at that point. But still we are in the phase where we want to consume Mekone to make more elf lands and of course some elf fortresses in the woods, so we can finally start our insane summoning bullshit. And I really would like to get some more glamour sites. It's typical for my luck that I have all those insane glamour mages up to level 4 sometimes, and even for a while had a glamour mage fire glamour beams in all directions to search at the highest level. But what we'll keep getting is our shit mixed in. Water? Okay, that's not something we need much. Then +5 earth, despite earth being a and so on. I mean, look at this stack, not a single path of earth. And those guys haven't even, those are just research mages. But the 1 or 2 mages with earth paths I've had walking around already on accident got me this earth income. Likewise with Astral, so half of this is by conquest. And nature, this makes more sense, but it's actually now fairly low. and glamour, but part of that is from our capital, so it's also fairly low. I'm not sure if we're really lucky or really unlucky. It's the early age after all, with more gems. It could just be if you're terminally unlucky. So I'm hoping that Mekone, since they don't have glamour magic, still has some sites undiscovered here. And yeah, okay, that's it really. Lipluini out. See you next turn.